Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. I'm extremely excited today because I'm starting a new series and it's something that I've been wanting to share with you guys for a long time. Some of you may know, although I live in Ireland, I was originally born in Peru. It's a beautiful country in South America and I may be biased, but I feel that Peruvian food is one of the best foods in the world. So that's what I'm going to show you in this series. I'm going to share with you some traditional, but with modifications, my favorite Peruvian recipes. Today we're going to be making this delicious dish. It's called papa a la Huancaina, which translates to potato with Huancaina sauce. Let's look at the ingredients that you're going to need. For the sauce, we're going to need some garlic and onion, some yellow peppers, which I will talk about in a minute, crackers, milk and cheese, and then the basis of our dish is going to be some lettuce, potatoes, egg, and black olives. This recipe is super simple, so let's get straight into it. First, I want to use some large potatoes. You want to keep them whole because we will be cutting them lengthwise once they're finished cooking. Now that my potatoes are peeled and I also get them a quick rinse under the tap, I'm just going to put them into a pot and I'm going to boil them for about 20 minutes until they're fully cooked through. Okay, I'm going to start prepping the rest of my ingredients. I'm going to start by chopping up an onion and I just want to give them a rough dice. With my onions all chopped, I'm going to put some oil into my pan and put my onions straight in. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And while they start cooking down, let's talk about our peppers. There are a lot of specific ingredients that you need for Peruvian cuisine. One of these is called ají amarillo. It's a very specific type of pepper that obviously originates from Peru, and it can be kind of tricky to find outside of South America. Today I'm going to be using yellow chilies as a substitute. The flavor is not quite the same, but in terms of the color and the heat that it's going to bring through, it's a good substitute to use. I'm just gonna cut it in half, and I'm not gonna remove the seeds because this was gonna give me quite a good bit of heat, but I will remove it from the rest of my peppers. In the meantime, I can also see that my onions are starting to sizzle away. So at this point, I can go in with my chili. This chili actually is the main ingredient in this particular recipe, so you can just give these all a rough dice or chop because we're gonna be blitzing everything later, so it's not really gonna matter. And you want to try to keep your heat kind of low. You kind of want to poach down these ingredients. I'm finally going to go in with my garlic, and again I'm just going to roughly slice it and throw it straight in there. I can smell the chili from here. It's going to be great. I'm going to continue cooking this until my peppers soften a little bit more. This will help with the blending process, so probably I would say 4 to 5 minutes in a low heat should be enough. We're pretty much there now. This is what your mixture should look like at this point. You see the onions are nice and translucent, but also getting a bit of color, and the peppers are starting to kind of like wilt down as well a little bit, which is exactly what I wanted. So I'm gonna take this off the heat and we can move on to blending. I've got my blender ready, so I'm just gonna transfer my onion and pepper mixture in here. And don't be afraid to get that oil in there because that's been infused now with all the delicious flavor from the peppers and the onions and the garlic, so we definitely want that in there. I'm gonna add a bit of extra oil just to help with the mixing. The color is looking fantastic already, but we have to add a few extra bits onto it. Normally for this recipe we use queso fresco. This is again fresh cheese. It's not something that I've come across here. A good substitute for it would be feta cheese. Also, it has a similar texture and kind of like this almost sour flavor to it. But at home, we've actually always used this triangle cheese thing. I'm not sure what actually cheese is made up from, but again, this gives great texture and the flavor is excellent as well. So that's what I'm going to use today. We've made this recipe for years using this cheese and it's phenomenal. I'm gonna start with 3. For a bit of extra creaminess and to help the mixture again to mix, I'm gonna add some milk. And then to help with thickness and also texture, I'm gonna add in some cream crackers. This might seem like a funny ingredient to add, but the recipe always calls for some form of cracker or biscuit. Okay, let's pop the lid back on, give it a mix. and see how we're getting on. If your mixture is too thick, add a bit of extra milk. I can smell the sauce already. It smells exactly like it's supposed to. My sauce is pretty much done. I'm just gonna taste a little bit. It tastes fantastic. I do feel it needs a bit of extra liquid in there to help to mix through those crackers. I do want a bit of the extra cheesy flavor, so I'm gonna add one more triangle also. Okay, that looks smooth, so we're done with the sauce. Let's go check on our potatoes and we can put our dish together. My sauce is ready. Look at that beautiful color. I had a little sneaky taste there and it's fantastic. I'm just gonna get the rest of my components ready so we can actually plate. Normally you serve it on a bed of lettuce. I'm just gonna take off some nice chunky leaves. And I'm gonna give them a wash. And I'm gonna put them through my salad spinner to get rid of the excess water. It's such a handy tool to have actually. If you don't have one, I will leave a link in the description below to where you can get one just like this. The next step is I'm going to slice my potatoes. Typically, you kind of have it in nice horizontal shapes. So I'm actually gonna slice it like this lengthwise. It's a little bit hot, so just be careful and make sure you let it cool down enough that you can actually handle it. A little bit crumbly, but it's okay. I also have a boiled egg, which I'm also going to chop in half. Okay, I'm super excited. Let's plate this up. So I've actually sliced my lettuce into two smaller halves. It'd just be easier to plate this way. So just gonna arrange them nicely in your plate. And then grab your potato slices, arrange them nicely on top. Obviously, if you have a nicer slice, make sure you put the one on top. I think this one's gonna be mine. Okay, and then get your sauce. As it sits, it will form a bit of filler on top, so don't be afraid to just go in and give it a bit of a mix, just so it's more pourable. This stuff is absolute heaven. Try to nicely pour on top of your potatoes. You can put as much or as little as you want. But really, the sauce is the start of the dish. Finally, you can put your egg on top and a few black olives for a bit of contrast, and that is your delicious papa a la Huancaina. Oh, the moment has finally come. I cannot wait to dig in. The smell is just so familiar. I know exactly what it tastes like. I'm salivating. Let me eat. The flavor is like nothing else. Just a nice spiciness from the chilies that we used. The sauce is so creamy because of the cheese and the crackers that we put in as well. And drizzled all over the potatoes, it's just such a beautiful combination. This dish is normally eaten cold actually, so it's very, very refreshing and it's a nice appetizer. Perfection. Could eat this for days. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. This dish is absolutely delicious. And I know I had to make some modifications because of the ingredients that I have accessible to me, but I think this is as close as you could possibly get to it. If you brought to me this out in a restaurant, I wouldn't know the difference. Make sure you give it a try and let me know what you think of it. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it and leave me a comment down below. I hope you're as excited as me to see what more Peruvian recipes I'm gonna bring you. So with that, I leave you for this video and enjoy.
Is it recording?